Hello friends! Today I am going to explain the first episode of the live-action series of Avatar: The Last Airbender. The episode opens with a very intense scene. We see a man running desperately while a group of soldiers are chasing him. These soldiers belong to the powerful Fire Nation army.
Don't let him get away! On it!
The man who is running away is actually an earthbender. He is a secret messenger trying to deliver an important message to the Earth King. The message contains secret information that the Fire Nation is planning to launch an attack on the Earth Kingdom. This scene quickly turns into an exciting battle. We see a thrilling fight between firebenders and an earthbender. The earthbender uses the ground and rocks to defend himself while trying to escape. However, during the fight, a powerful Fire Nation commander attacks him with fire and captures him. The captured spy is then brought before the Fire Nation's ruler. The king coldly tells the spy that their true goal is to wipe out all benders. He even mocks the spy by saying that the message he tried to deliver actually made their job easier, because now all the benders will gather together to prepare for war, and that will make them easier to eliminate. The Fire Nation ruler's ultimate goal is to kill the Avatar, although they still do not know who the current Avatar is.
Why are you doing this?
Because of this, he is determined to destroy every tribe and nation until the Avatar is gone forever. For thousands of years, the four nations, water, fire, earth, and air, have lived in balance with each other. The one who maintains that balance is the Avatar. The Avatar is a powerful being who can master all four elements and keep the world in harmony. Whenever one Avatar dies, their spirit is reborn into a new body. At this time, the next Avatar has not yet been identified, and the Fire Nation ruler, Fire Lord Sozin, sees this as the perfect opportunity to conquer the entire world. The scene then shifts to the Southern Air Temple. Here we see a cheerful young boy named Aang. He is flying and playing freely in the air. Aang has the ability to control air, making him an airbender. The monks of the temple are protecting and raising him. Among them is his mentor, Monk Gyatso, who tells Aang that he still has many things to learn and should focus more seriously on his training. At that moment, the sky fills with a magnificent sight, giant flying creatures called sky bison. Among them is Aang's beloved companion, Appa, a giant six-legged flying bison. Soon, another scene shows a serious discussion among the monks. They talk about the rising threat of the Fire Nation and the possibility that they may soon attack the Earth Kingdom. The monks reveal that Aang is actually the last airbender on Earth and also the Avatar. Because of this, he must realize his destiny quickly and learn to save the world. However, Monk Gyatso argues that Aang is still just a child. He is only 12 years old, and such a huge responsibility might be too much for him to bear. Later, Gyatso explains to Aang about the previous avatars. Some were born in the Fire Nation, others in the Earth Kingdom, and some in the Water Tribes. Now it is the turn of the air nomads, which means Aang is the new Avatar. He explains that the Avatar can control all four elements and protect the world. Therefore, Aang must eventually take on this responsibility and save the world. Then Gyatso tells Aang that he will have to leave the temple to learn other disciplines and complete his training. This moment becomes very emotional. Aang is deeply saddened because he must leave his beloved teacher and friends behind. Later that night, Aang cannot sleep. He talks to Appa and explains that he feels troubled about leaving everything behind. To clear his mind, Aang rides Appa and flies high into the sky, wanting to spend some quiet time in the highest place. Meanwhile, a tragic event unfolds. Fire Lord Sozin launches a brutal attack on the Air Nomad's temple. His goal is to wipe out every airbender so that the Avatar can never exist again. What Sozin does not know is that the Avatar has already been born. An intense and brutal battle begins. Fire Lord Sozin and his army slaughter the Air Nomad monks. Monk Gyatso rushes the young monk children to safety, but soon realizes that Aang is missing and starts calling for him. At the same time, Aang and Appa fall into the ocean during the storm. While the battle continues at the temple, Gyatso fights bravely against the Fire Nation soldiers. But that night is special, the night when Sozin's comet passes through the sky. Because of the comet, firebenders gain enormous power. Aang and Appa are unconscious underwater. Suddenly, the arrow mark on Aang's forehead begins to glow. His power creates a massive sphere of energy that forms a protective bubble around them in the ocean. The visual effects of this moment are incredibly stunning. Back at the temple, Gyatso and the remaining monk children are eventually killed during the battle. The scene then shifts forward in time to a frozen and damaged ship buried in ice. Here we meet Katara, who is trying to manipulate water using waterbending. However, she is not very skilled yet. Katara currently lives with her small community in Wolf Cove, a snowy fortress in a polar region. We also meet her older brother, Sokka, who is training and commanding younger children in the village. Katara and Sokka live here with their tribe, hiding the fact that Katara is a waterbender from the Fire Nation. Because of this danger, Sokka often warns Katara not to practice waterbending openly. From their conversation, we learn that the Fire Nation has already attacked most of the world and conquered many places. One day they go fishing on the frozen ocean. Suddenly they face an accident when their boat is swept away by the water. While trying to fix the situation, they discover a massive frozen bubble buried in ice. This bubble was created long ago by Aang. Katara uses her waterbending power to try to pull the drifting boat back, but when she does this, the frozen bubble breaks open. A bright light shoots into the sky. Far away on a Fire Nation ship, Prince Zuko sees this mysterious light. Inside the broken bubble, Aang stands up briefly as his glowing arrow fades, and then he collapses unconscious again. Katara and Sokka take Aang back to their village. Zuko excitedly tells his uncle Iroh that the light must mean the Avatar has appeared in Wolf Cove. However, Iroh dismissed it at first, saying strange lights in ice regions are sometimes natural. We also learn that Zuko has been banished by his father until he finds and captures the Avatar. Back in the village, Aang is placed unconscious inside a hut. Katara's grandmother recognizes him as an airbender. Sokka refuses to believe it because the Fire Nation supposedly wiped out all airbenders. They decide to wait until Aang wakes up. Later, Aang regains consciousness. He happily watches children playing outside until Sokka storms in shouting instructions about defending against enemies. Aang tells him he is not an enemy, but suddenly remembers his flying bison, Appa. He jumps into the air and begins flying while calling for Appa. Everyone realizes he is truly an airbender. Soon, Aang whistles loudly and Appa flies down from the sky. Aang joyfully hugs him. Aang explains that he came from the temple and got trapped in the ocean during a storm, but Katara's grandmother reveals the shocking truth. The Fire Nation destroyed the temple long ago. They forced the world into darkness. The only one who could have stopped them was the Avatar, but he disappeared. She also explains that the Great Comet passed through the sky 100 years ago when the temple was destroyed. Aang is shocked and heartbroken to realize he has been frozen for 100 years. Meanwhile, Zuko orders his army to continue searching because he is certain the Avatar is in Wolf Cove. Aang sits alone, feeling hopeless. Katara comforts him and tells him that the Fire Nation also killed members of her family, and Sokka had to become the leader of their tribe. She promises to be Aang's friend. Later, she shows him a destroyed Fire Nation ship from the first attack on waterbenders. Meanwhile, Zuko practices his firebending skills. Aang teaches Katara how to balance energy to improve her waterbending. For the first time, Katara successfully performs waterbending. Soon, Zuko arrives at Wolf Cove with his ship and prepares to attack. Sokka organizes everyone to defend the village. Katara's grandmother tells Aang he must save them because he is the Avatar. But Sokka angrily calls Aang a coward for running away when the world needed him. Katara argues with Sokka and reminds him that a leader must give people hope. Instead of risking everyone's lives, Sokka challenges Zuko to a one-on-one duel between leaders. Zuko accepts. During the duel, Zuko leaps through the air and throws powerful flames, eventually knocking Sokka to the ground. Seeing this, Aang steps in and fights the Fire Nation soldiers and Zuko. Soon, the village children also help him. Eventually, Aang stops fighting and tells Zuko he will surrender if the Fire Nation leaves the others alone. Zuko captures Aang and locks him up on the ship. Iroh apologizes to Aang and introduces himself as the son of Fire Lord Azalan. Aang asks why the Fire Nation chose war. Iroh replies that they believe the world can only achieve peace under a single ruler. Aang responds that true peace comes through mutual respect and cooperation. Using his airbending skills, Aang secretly steals a key from a soldier. Meanwhile, Katara and Sokka ride Appa to rescue him. Aang escapes his cell and sneaks through the ship, but Zuko eventually notices him. Aang uses his glider to jump off the ship and fly away, while Zuko shoots fire at him. During the chase, Zuko's attack hits Aang and he begins falling from the sky. But Sokka catches him on Appa just in time. Furious, Zuko launches a massive fireball toward them, but suddenly the ocean water rises and extinguishes the flames. The camera slowly reveals Katara controlling the water. She has now become much better at waterbending. Everyone celebrates while Zuko burns with rage. Katara explains they cannot return to their village because Zuko will attack again. Instead, they travel to the Southern Air Temple, which is now completely destroyed. There, Aang finds the skeleton of his beloved teacher, Monk Gyatso. Overwhelmed with grief, Aang cries deeply. His anger explodes as powerful winds swirl around him. The environment becomes extremely dangerous. Katara and Sokka struggle to stand because of the powerful winds and vibrations. Katara pleads with Aang to calm down. Remembering Gyatso's teachings, Aang slowly regains control of himself. He collapses on the ground, emotionally broken. Katara comforts him. Aang then promises that he will take back everything the Fire Nation stole from the world. Meanwhile, Prince Zuko angrily draws Aang's face on a board, swearing revenge. And with Zuko's burning determination, the episode comes to an end. Friends, how did you like this series explanation? Please let me know in the comments and support us with a like and share. We will meet again in the next video. Take care.